We have a breaking news story now on the Hollywood sign, on the letter Y to be specific. A man has put a cross on that letter and put himself on the cross. Captain Ron, what else can you tell us?
Well, Paul, this is quite unusual out here. It's drawn quite a bit of attention from the other helicopters out here in the Los Angeles area. As you can see, he's right in the middle of the Y, and we've got a cross out here that's decorated with some flowers, and it looks like some other type of multicolored material out here. Now, he's standing on a platform wearing some leather boots, it appears like, and he's got his arms semi-extended on the arms of the cross itself. Now, it looked like he'd have to have some help to get up here. We've looked around the area out here and couldn't find anyone else, and we're unsure how he got up there. That's pretty much the scene here at the Hollywood sign. Paul, back to you.
Can you tell if there's some sort of lettering around his waist? The ZZO I see on the right there, Ron. I don't know if you can make it out any better than we can. But
cameraman might be able to tell us what that says.
Well,
Jizzo? Rizzo?
It looks like that, just about what you can see, and that's about all I can make out from here, Ann.
Okay, our producer indicates that he thinks quite possibly it's some sort of protest against the meeting down in Rio, the environmental summit. We're going to follow the story, of course, and get back to it and see exactly why this man is up on the Hollywood sign on the letter Y.
Well, I think it's a good call to say he couldn't have gotten up there by himself.
Yes.
If he did, that is a remarkable story, too. At the top of the news, we went out in Newscopter 7 and showed you the man who was standing in the cross that had been put up over the Y in the Hollywood sign. You see him there. We understand now that this is a publicity stunt. We thought it might be a protest. No, it apparently is a lead singer for a rock group named Love Hate. Lead singer Jizzy Pearl is the man standing in that cross. And let's find out what else Captain Ron can tell us about it at this point. Ron.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Well, from the last time that I talked to you, just a few moments ago, we had fire department and police department arrive on scene. Now, as we watch, you can see some of the firemen talking to him, apparently trying to coax him down. We've got one of the firemen that climbed up on the structure of the Y. He's probably about 15 feet off the ground right now. You can see him right in the middle of your screen. And he has been talking to him. Now, we've noticed some conversation, apparent conversation between the two. But during this whole time up here, I see no signs that this individual is looking to climb down off this sign at this point. I see units, apparently LAPD are just arrived. I see about 4 officers at this point. And we can see up on top of the hill, on top of Mount Lee, we're just above the Hollywood sign, we can see at least 3 radio cars up here at this point. Pretty much a talking scene right out here at this time, Ann. Back to you.
Well, publicity stunt and not a good idea. Unfortunately, we've been to some extent taken in because we did not know what was going on out there. And the firefighters obviously have better things to do and try and get this guy off the sign just so he gets a little publicity. But
it happens every so often.
Yep.
Somebody chooses the Hollywood sign as the place to make a point or look for attention, and that's what it was again this time. So, following the situation with the man who was standing on the display cross over the Y on the Hollywood sign, let's go back up to Captain Ron. I understand he is down now, Ron.
in cuffs.
The gentleman there being taken away, and it's been confirmed that it was the lead singer Jizzy Pearl for the rock group Love Hate. And he's out of there now.
There's some indication from Columbia Records, we have not had this completely confirmed, that someone over there has told us that they're doing some sort of underground movie. But if so, they would have had to have all the permits needed to do a movie in the city of Los Angeles, and the fire department and the police department would know about it.
And they would not be taking him away in handcuffs at this point.
Absolutely not. So he's probably got at least trespassing as a charge against him, and a whole other list perhaps that they may come up with.
He does. But the situation itself is over. The man is down from that cross, and as we continue through the evening and we find out exactly what was going on there, we'll come back with more on that.
Mark Brown's out there and we'll find out.
On this Monday night, you can call it only in Hollywood. At this hour, a bizarre episode has just ended at the big Hollywood sign up in the Hollywood Hills. Our Mark Brown is at the scene. He has this live newsman report for us. Mark?
Okay, well, Harold and Laura, we can tell you that the man is down. The cross has been removed from the big Y in Hollywood there. I don't know if Victor, our cameraman, can zoom up. Yeah, there he goes. You can see the folks still gathered up there. You got firemen, park rangers, and also presumably the man that was standing on that cross. Let's go to some video from earlier that shows the man. There he was up on the cross. He'd been up there for quite some time. This was we called it right. It was a publicity stunt from a rock band called Love Hate. The man's name you see up there, they call him Jizzy Pearl, from this rock and roll band. He says it's a publicity stunt to try to increase record sales. And I guess there he is right there. The folks here tell me that that they put the cross up at about 3 o'clock this morning, and that he actually went up there at about 4 o'clock this afternoon and basically had to be rescued by firefighters and by park rangers. The fire truck is passing by right now. It's very narrow streets. It was quite a lot of trouble for them to get up here. Quite a lot of man hours and effort here that was exerted on getting this man off of that Hollywood sign. He is now down. We understand that he is under arrest for trespassing because he didn't have permission to be up there. Park rangers say they didn't know about it. The police say they didn't know about it. And so he was up there basically of his own accord, or at least under the auspices of this rock and roll band for this publicity stunt. Hope for their sake it was worth it, because this individual is now under arrest. Reporting live near the Hollywood sign, I'm Mark Brown. Now back to you.
Mark, thanks. We've been up to that sign. Those letters are huge, 50, 75 feet high. Hard to imagine he did that by himself. And I guess we'll get more information.
More to that part of the story.
Probably we'll be looking at a tab for what it costs to bring up the fire department and the police department to get him off of there.
Pretty costly, I'm sure.
Yeah.